Hello, everybody, and welcome to your gentle yoga practice. As you know, my name is Steph, and I'm here to guide you. And let's begin by just getting comfortable. If you're comfortable as you are, stay as you are. If you're seated, maybe you lay down and get even cozier. Use your props however you wish here. And allow yourself a few moments to just melt and begin to connect to the natural wave of your breath. Allowing yourself to just be here and just breathe here as you unpack your day, as you unpack your week. Choosing to let go of the items off your to-do list you didn't quite finish. Choosing to release the conversations swirling around in the mind's eye so that you can just be here with your breath instead. Choosing to turn down the volume on your thoughts as you more intentionally listen to the sound of each inhale, each exhale, and each pause. Hear the spaces in your breath that sound smooth and controlled. But also choose to notice the choppy bits, the places where your breath seems to get stuck. Maybe you begin to pause into those areas, allowing your breath to untangle just a little bit more. And as your breath becomes steadier and steadier and steadier, can you use it as a tool to wash away any lingering thoughts in this moment? With each inhale, wrap up one individual thought. And as you exhale, watch it float out of your body, out of your awareness, and right off of your mat. Choosing to go one by one with absolutely no hurry in mind here. Together, let's take 5 more inhales and 5 more exhales. I will be here to guide you back when it's time. Release your last breath as slow as you possibly can. And then begin to add movement as you feel ready. Waking yourself up in the ways that feel best to you, choosing to move as slow as you comfortably can. Maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes first. Maybe you roll out your wrists and your ankles. Maybe you offer yourself a full body stretch like you're just waking up in the morning. As softly as you can, remove any props from underneath your body. For everyone at home, we'll be using our bolster and our blocks today. And together, let's meet laying down with knees into chest, hands wrapped around your shins or back behind your knees. Feel your thighs melt in towards your belly. And you can choose to find stillness, or you can give yourself a little rock, hip to hip, left and right. How does it feel to massage your low back down into your mat? Does it feel better with your knees really close? Or does it feel better when you draw your knees further away from your body? Maybe you play with both. As you come to stillness, step your feet down onto your mat wide. Relax your arms and sway your knees in a windshield way. Feeling your knees sway back and forth. Resisting the urge to force your knees down and let gravity do all of the work here. The next time your knees drop to the right, can you keep them both there? Maybe you support yourself with a block or a bolster underneath your right knee, between your thighs, or anywhere else you like. Encourage the back of your left shoulder to get even heavier. Noticing how much space you have in your body. Maybe you choose to shift your gaze to the left, the opposite direction of your knees. Exploring about 8 more cycles of breath here. If at any time you're craving more sensation, you can lift your right ankle and place it on top of your left knee without adding any force. Choose to breathe as slow as you comfortably can, sipping in all the way to the top, and then emptying every last drop with your exhale. With each inhale, breathe into a space that feels sticky. And as you exhale, watch some of that tension melt away. And you stay for one final breath here. If you've chosen to hook your ankle, place your right foot back down. And together, let's come back to our windshield wipe, swaying even slower than last time. Releasing any sticky spots as you move back and forth. And once you feel ready, without hurrying even a little bit, drop your knees to the left. Maybe you choose to use your props on this second side. Maybe you get heavier through your right shoulder and you begin to look to the right. And after a few more cycles of breath, if you're craving a little bit more, you can lift your left ankle and place it on top of your right knee. Remind yourself here that the slower that you allow your body to sink into a shape, the deeper your body will naturally want to go. Yoga is not a race. Can you get quiet in your body? And can you use your breath to get quiet in your mind as we stay for about 5 more inhales and about 5 more exhales? One final breath here. Soak every last drop in. And then release every last drop out. If you've hooked, begin to unhook. And together we'll find a few more windshield wipes. As you find stillness with your legs, you can choose 2 options here. First option is to slide your bolster underneath the window of your legs before you take the soles of your feet together, opening your knees wide. Or you can choose to find this shape unsupported if you are craving more sensation. Another option is to grab 1 block for each knee, giving yourself a kickstand. And as a little reminder, the closer your heels are to your body, the more sensation you will feel. So know that you can walk your toes further down your mat. Now take a second and scan your body. If it feels like someone is holding onto your hips, maybe you rest your hands onto them instead as a physical reminder to let go of a little bit of that gripping. Sometimes a little bit of awareness is all that we need. With each inhale, breathe into the areas that are filled with resistance. And as you exhale, watch your body soften. If at any time sensation becomes too high, know that you can take your knees back together. Listen to your body. On your next inhale, slowly close up through your knees and bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a little squeeze and maybe a rock if that would feel good. Releasing your hands, weave them through the inside of your knees as you grab onto the outside edges of your ankles, guiding your knees down towards your armpits as the soles of your feet become parallel to the ceiling. Can you soften your shoulders down your back body? Feel them connect into your mat. Head is heavy too. Adding some gentle movement here. As you inhale, bring the soles of your feet together, guiding your heels into the midline of your body, just like we were in cobbler's pose. And as you exhale, open your feet back out wide into happy baby. Inhale, feet come together-ish. Exhale, happy baby. Last time, feet together. Slowly moving back to your happy baby. Pause here. Begin to release just your left foot all the way down onto your mat and use the help of your right hand to hook your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Maybe this is where you stay with your left foot down. Maybe you step your left foot onto a block for a little more extra height. Maybe your left thigh comes all the way into your belly and you interlace your fingers behind your left thigh or on top of your left shin. Find a depth that actually feels good to you. And if you feel like you have to peel up through head, neck, and shoulders, ease out until your head can stay down. If you notice yourself trying to force yourself into this shape, can you remind yourself instead that yoga is not about being good at something, it's about being good to yourself. Be good to yourself here. Trust in the steady anchor of your breath. And if your awareness has shifted away, choose to bring yourself back. With care, begin to release your fingertips. Left foot comes down if it's lifted. Unhook your right ankle, place your right foot onto your mat, wiggle your feet out wider, and sway your knees to rinse all of that out with a few windshield wipes. As slow as you possibly can, still your knees and bring them back in towards your chest. Bring your hands through your knees and grab your ankles once again, returning to happy baby. This time playing with our second side, releasing your right foot down onto your mat. Left hand helps you hook your left ankle onto your right thigh. Great option to stay here. Left knee falling open. Maybe you move deeper and find an interlace of your fingers. Listen to your body, adjust where you need to, grab your props and use them. Allow your breath to unravel once again as you sink into stillness. Hands release from the body. Right foot comes down, left foot follows. Step your feet wide and sway it out one last time. Slowly begin to rock all the way over to one side so that you can use both of your hands to press yourself up, and we'll come to a tabletop shape. As we begin, bring your bolster out in front of you, settling into child's pose, knees as wide as your mat, big toes together. A few options here. You can slide your bolster out in front of you just as is, or you can bring a block underneath near the top of it to lift your ramp higher. You're like, I wish my ramp was a little bit higher, even more. Maybe use both of your blocks, and the one furthest away from you goes on to its second height. Once you find a ramp that is reasonable, begin to lay down onto your bolster, choosing to rest onto your forehead or one of your cheeks. I will tell you when it's time to switch cheeks. Take your time and settle in. And if child's pose is not feeling right to you, know that you can skip it and come up to a kneel instead, sitting your bum onto your heels and resting your hands into your lap. Release any lingering muscular effort from your belly. Check in with your fingertips, your jaw, wherever you hold tension. As you breathe into the space behind your heart, maybe you imagine that you're seeping and sinking down into your mat and down into your bolster. If you've chosen to rest onto one of your cheeks, maybe you switch now.
Feel your hands get heavier, your elbows, even your armpits. Feel the back of your body widen as you melt into your bolster even further. And choose to just be here and just breathe here once again for 3 cycles of breath more. Begin to wiggle your fingers, preparing your body for more movement. And as you feel ready, press into your hands, lift yourself up, slide your bolster out of the way, and rock over to one side, coming onto your bum. As you find your bum, find a reasonable V shape with your legs. It does not have to be super wide. Release any flesh out of the way so that your sit bones can connect. And then bring your bolster out in front of you. Starting on its highest height, give yourself a kickstand underneath your chin, hugging the middle of your bolster. If that doesn't feel sticky enough, you can bring your bolster on a horizontal and bring your forearms down. Maybe you bring a block onto your bolster. Get creative with your props. Choose to point or flex your toes, keeping your knees really safe here. Hinging from the pelvis, leading with your heart. No ultimate goals in mind at all here. Feel waves of sensation rise and fall in your body. Calm the conversation in your mind's eye with the steady wave of your breath. Your breath is always there to return to. Let the outside environment, your world around you drift away as you focus so intentionally on your breath for just 3 more inhales and just 3 more exhales. Inhale to roll your body back up in slow motion. Move your bolster off to one side and use the help of your hands to close your legs up like a book. Take your hands back behind you, bend your knees, and step your feet wide to find a windshield wipe seated.
Using this windshield wipe to guide us into our next shape, slowly drop both of your knees over to the right and lift your left hand, twisting yourself all the way over, choosing to stay high, pressing into both of your hands, or maybe to slide your bolster underneath you, maybe coming down onto your forearms, or maybe onto your belly. Sometimes staying pressed into your hands feels best, and know that that is a great option. There's no need to move any further. Feel the wave of your breath ringing out the midsection of your body. Find that tension as you take that extra sip of air in at the top of your inhale. And then watch it all release as you let your breath go. Choosing to be here in your body, present in your own experience, because after all, this practice is just for you, all 60 minutes. Stay for one more big breath in. And one more long breath out. Supported by your hands, begin to lift up and unravel, taking your left hand all the way back behind you as you return to your windshield wipe. Swaying just a few times until you're ready to drop both of your knees to the left, lifting your right arm and twisting yourself over. You have tons of time to wiggle around to make sure that your body is on your mat and supported. Check in with your knees. Your comfort matters here. Maybe you stay high, pressing into your hands on this side, or maybe you begin to lower only if that actually feels good. Moving into this shape with a sense of length through your spine. Give yourself space between your shoulders and your ears. Take up as much space as you possibly can here. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Give your fingers a little wiggle. Lift yourself up when you're ready. Slowly begin to unravel And as you feel ready, rock over to one side and make your way back to tabletop, coming onto all fours. If you notice any discomfort underneath your knees, take a second and grab the middle of your mat, roll it over towards your knees so that you have a little bit of extra cushion. Spread your fingertips wide and choose to either tuck your toes under or to press the entire tops of your feet down into your mat. And as you inhale, tilt your pelvis forward, spill your belly down to your mat, and begin to look up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, round from your tailbone all the way up your spine, chin comes into your chest. Inhale, waving forward. Exhale to round. Feel your heart moving through the window of your arms as you take an inhale. And as you exhale, press into all of your fingertips and feel the back of your heart lift. If you're craving a pause somewhere along the way, pause. If you're craving a shift of your head, your shoulders, or your hips, please do. Last round. As you inhale and return to tabletop, shift a little bit of your weight back so that your weight is out of your wrists, and flip just your right hand so that the palm of your right hand is facing up towards your face. Take a few cycles of breath here. Notice sensation. Find a reasonable amount for you. The more weight you have back, the more sensation you will feel. So maybe you guide your bum back a little bit further. Stay for one more breath. And then begin to switch. Take your right hand back down, press into all of your fingertips, and flip your left hand. Starting with more weight forward, and then slowly ease your bum back as you find space. Flip your left hand back down, return to tabletop. And from here, bring your right hand behind your neck. Right elbow points out wide. As you inhale, lift your right elbow up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring your right elbow towards your left elbow crease, looking to the left. As you inhale, lift your right elbow high. And as you exhale, try to tap your left elbow crease. 2 more times. Slowly place your right hand back down, and we'll just switch. Left hand comes behind your head. Inhale, lift your left elbow. Exhale to twist. 3 more times in total. Maybe you imagine that you're moving through molasses. Give yourself some resistance here so that you're not just swinging your arm up. Find one more time. And then begin to let it go. As you find your way to tabletop, tuck your right toes under like a kickstand and extend your left leg back behind you. Left knee moves into your chest. Help her step your left foot through between your hands And grab your bolster, sliding it between the window of your legs here. Once your bolster is between your legs, scooch it back so that it's touching your right thigh. Hands come to the inside of your left foot as you slowly walk your right knee back as much as you comfortably can, your right thigh supported by your bolster. Knowing that the lowest height might feel good, but the second highest height may feel better. There are so many options here. Maybe a block under or on top of your bolster too. You can choose to keep your left knee hugged in towards your left shoulder, or you can wiggle your left toes wide, maybe right off of your mat, opening your left knee wide, letting it get heavy, and maybe walking your hands to the right. Where can you soften through the right side of your body? Maybe you untuck your right toes. If you're loving this shape and you wish you had a little more sensation, you can lift your left hand and guide it to the inside of your left knee, guiding your left knee open further, but not pushing, not forcing. Know that you can come down onto your forearms. Do what truly feels best. Finding a place that feels kind of uncomfortable and staying for another 8 cycles of breath. Prepare your body for movement. Begin to lift yourself up. If you've lowered down, close up your left knee if it is open wide and inch your bum back so you have space to slide your bolster out of the way. Stepping left foot back to meet right in tabletop. Give your hips a little wiggle. Maybe it's a cat-cow, maybe a figure 8. Make sure your bolster is still handy for your second side and begin to kick your right toes back behind you. Take your time as your right knee moves into your chest. Help her step your right foot through however you get there and grab your bolster, sliding it between your legs once again, pressed up against your left thigh as you walk your left knee back. Sometimes it feels really good to hug your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Sometimes it feels better to walk your right foot open wide and open up through your right knee. And if you like that a lot, maybe you walk your hands off of your mat to the left and use your right hand to open your right knee up further. What worked on one side may not work on the other, and trust that that is completely okay. You can stay as high or as lowered as you like. Your blocks are there for your forearms if you would like to use them. Remind yourself that it's okay to be uncomfortable on purpose. And it's also okay to come out when your body says enough is enough.
I'm here to lead your practice, but your body should always be your guide. Can you take one more breath here without rushing through it? Take your time as you lift yourself back up. Bum inches back as you slide your bolster out of the way, and your right foot comes back to meet your left. Give yourself a little reset. And then begin to come down onto your bum. Grab your sip of water, your extra article of clothing, whatever you need here, and then begin to lay down. Choosing to have a block or your bolster within arm's reach. We'll find one more shape before our final rest. As you come onto your back, step your feet about hips distance and scoot your heels in towards your bum so that if you were to reach down, maybe you could touch them. Just maybe. Feel your shoulder blades come together along your back and slowly begin to lift your hips up, sliding your favorite prop underneath your sacrum, the space between your low back and your bum. Our bolsters have handles on either side. Sometimes that's handy. Take a second, feel your shoulders come back behind you. Once again, spin your palms up. And know that you have tons of time here to wiggle and readjust. Make sure your body feels restful. You can choose to keep your knees pointing up towards the ceiling. You can choose to drop your knees together and tense your knees to take the work out of your legs. Or if you'd like to explore legs up the wall, one by one, hug your knees into your chest and kick your heels up towards the ceiling. If you feel like you got crunchy through your spine here, lift your head, lengthen back out, and then place your head back down. If at any time your toes become tingly, please take your feet back down. Choose not to worry if your legs are swaying around. Just get heavy instead. Are you comfortable through your arms? Is there a way that would feel better? Maybe you bend your elbows, finding a cactus shape. Maybe you sweep your arms all the way up overhead. Maybe you rest your hands somewhere along your body. If your toes are lifted, begin to guide your knees into your chest, taking your feet back down onto your mat in your own time. Together, let's lift our hips high, sliding your bolster out of the way. And as you come to rest onto your mat, begin to explore any final movements that your body is craving.
Maybe you grab your bolster and slide it underneath your knees. Maybe you prefer it behind your back. Maybe you prefer to lay down flat onto your mat, or maybe seated would feel good. And you begin to transition back there. Take your time to shimmy, to carve out a place on your mat just for you and your rest. At this time, I'll be coming around with a final adjustment, and I'll talk about that first. Today's blend of oil is Anchor by doTERRA. It smells a little lavendery. If you prefer no touch and no scent, know that that's completely okay. If you give me a little wave now, I will know to skip you. Today's final adjustment will look like gentle pressure on your shoulders. For everyone at home, I'll mute my mic while I walk around, but of course, I will be here to guide you back when it's time. And together, let's all take a big full breath in and a long cleansing breath out. Gently moving deeper and deeper and deeper into stillness. take a breath and invite your awareness back into this space. Choose stillness for as long as you like. And when you're ready, begin to wake yourself up. Remind yourself that it is completely okay to end your practice exactly as you are laying down. Or maybe you slowly grow your movements and eventually come to seated. Maybe taking that extra second to sit up on a bolster and get extra cozy. Feel yourself land wherever you are. And take a big breath in, sweeping your fingertips up above your head, gathering all the energy, prana you cultivated on your mat. And with an exhale, pull into heart center. Sealing your practice with this moment of gratitude just for yourself. As you inhale, fill yourself up with this sense of gratitude. Hold on to it. Exhale, let your breath go. It has been such a pleasure to be here to guide you through your practice. Thank you. And as a reminder, I'm Steph and I'm here for any and all questions. Please do not be shy. Give yourself a few moments to wake back up.